Dragon Ball Z, the story of Son Goku, his family, and his friends. An inspiration to many people around the world, Goku teaches the audience a lesson of resilience in the face of adversity. Through many battles across the multiverse, Goku proves that never giving up is the key to becoming your own hero. Goku, however, is not the only character throughout the narrative to teach the lesson of resilience. Son Gohan, the first son of Goku, is another character that does so throughout his challenges and furthermore his life. Another primary character that demonstrates that same stubbornness is Vegeta. I believe Vegeta does this the best, hence making him my favorite character in the series. What exactly does resilience mean, though? It is the ability to withstand difficult times in life, one's capability to pull themselves back up and challenge the world that they find themselves faced with. Each of the three aforementioned characters do this in a different way. Goku focuses on himself, constantly honing his skills to be a better warrior than he was the day before. Gohan harnesses the dreams of others and channels them into his capabilities, doing what he has to, not out of passion or self-interest, but out of a need to be strong for others. Vegeta does it all for himself, constantly comparing himself to others and striving to be the very best fighter that there ever was. Motives being said, these aren't just their motivations for living, but furthermore their motivations for life itself. Life in the sense of truly living, escaping bouts of depression or other troubles that impede our paths forward. Many people get caught in their own day-to-day inconveniences and let it halt their progress towards their goals because they are not taught how to stand back on their feet. Part of what makes these characters so compelling is that they always get back on their feet. They don't let these small issues impede their path towards their goals of being stronger. They always get back up and try again. Even in the face of galaxy-destroying monsters, they are not halted in their path forward. Resilience is something everyone must learn on their own. And while that may be true, it doesn't necessarily mean that others cannot inspire us to learn our own way of resilience. Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta exemplify this perfectly. Dragon Ball Z says the quiet part of self-improvement out loud. Through focusing on how these characters, even when faced with villains set on genocide and the destruction of planets, refuse to give in to what seems like fate or destiny. Fighting for a better reality and getting through hard times is what it means to be truly alive. In order to be truly alive, one has to have proper coping mechanisms. Resilience is a form of coping. Even if it is proactive rather than retroactive, I still consider it to be such. And we see this through these characters through how they handle being resilient, as each of them have their different approach to doing so. With coping mechanisms comes an overuse of those mechanisms, however. By developing a way of life, that way of life naturally begins to have negative impacts on yourself and others around you. It is vital in learning resilience that you balance self-care with the care of your loved ones. Without resilience in the face of adversity, it can be difficult to overcome smaller challenges, as they can snowball into bigger complications that make it difficult to jump over the hurdles life presents to you. To hone in on our first character case, we have Goku, the savior of the universe. Born a low-class warrior and being sent to Earth as a means of escape from the destruction of his home planet, his life was bound to be nothing but struggle. Despite that, he finds passion in battle and lives to become better at fighting, desiring nothing more than to be better than he was the day before. As I've already said, Goku shows the viewer how to stay strong through self-improvement. By focusing on oneself and honing talent, one can find purpose through what makes them happy. For Goku, that is battle and the desire to grow stronger. Finding purpose is not the only reason for self-improvement, however. Hobbies are important to make it out of troubling times or even something like depressive episodes. A clear example of this is the first time Goku goes Super Saiyan, a term I'm sure you're familiar with. In short, he gains power through a transformation. The cause of a Saiyan, which is Goku's race, changing into this form for the first time and making such a leap in power is brought on by deep frustration or tragedy. On the brink of giving up or death, Saiyans receive a burst of determination that allows them to overcome what it is that troubles them.
It's impossible! You made a direct hit with your spirit bomb, and no one could survive that! This time you won't come back!
Krillin, no!
Krillin!
Frieza, stop this!
Help me! Pop goes the weasel.
I won't let you get away with this! I won't let you!
Similar to how humans overcome challenges, Saiyans grow physically stronger when brought to their limit. Going Super Saiyan isn't just a jump in power, but rather an advancement of character. When these characters have their important transformations, it is not just an excuse for the main character to get strong enough to beat a villain. It is a testament to how far they've come as a character and who they have developed into. Humans do this just the same, only through character growth and mindset rather than the physical strength gained from a powerful form. Goku's unbridled rage during his transformation is something we have all felt deep down at one point or another. Be it over something trivial or damning, life-changing news, this is a relatable emotion. Goku's transformation into a Super Saiyan in this instance was a physical manifestation of his psyche shifting into something more serious and resolved than it ever had been before. That is the human experience. To shift one's mindset in a way that fits the challenge ahead is to grow as a person. We have all been Goku, and that is what makes him so compelling. And while passion may be how Goku copes, it also comes at the detriment of his loved ones. Though he may not be a bad father, he is certainly not the greatest. Throughout Gohan's adolescence, Goku pushes his son to be the fighter Gohan never wanted to be. This realization is never brought on by Goku himself, but rather by one of Earth's other protectors providing a harsh reality check he desperately needed.
No! I can't take it! Goku, you can keep standing there all you want, but I'm helping Gohan!
No, you're not! You and I both know you're not strong enough to fight Cell. So wait, just a little bit longer.
For what? For Gohan to get killed? For Cell to rip him to pieces while we watch?
Wait until he has no choice. And then, right when Gohan is backed into a corner with no way out, he'll awaken his furious inner strength. And when that happens, you watch. Gohan will break Cell down once and for all. That's it.
Scream out! Get angry! It makes you mad that you're in pain! Enough of this game, Goku! You're wrong about your son! Gohan may have that power, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't thirst for battle and mayhem. He's not a fighter like you.
Huh?
Do you want to know what he's thinking? He's not thinking about strength or about competition. He's wondering why his father is standing there, letting him die. And so your son may be the most powerful person in the world, but he's also a scared 11-year-old boy. I'd rather die than wait.
Goku is not the greatest judge of character, but this was certainly an oversight on his behalf. He had spent so much time around his son preparing for this day, not realizing that the only reason Gohan wanted to train his battle skills was to spend time with his father. Goku had unintentionally let his passion get in the way of his relationship with his son, a mistake that almost cost his son's life. The reason this is important to understanding passion is because of the stakes. Getting caught up in one's own head can lead to negligence in their surrounding environment. Goku's actions here were a perfect example of that. He was not trying to be malicious, nor trying to forget about how his son felt. Quite the contrary. He was so consumed by his passion for fighting that he'd forgotten how rare of a passion that was in his family. He still cares deeply for his son, but made the mistake regardless. Gohan is interesting, because we get to see his entire life throughout the Dragon Ball series, letting him act in the context of this topic as a representation of what it means to grow up in a world seemingly against you. Gohan demonstrates his resilience through facing the world as it comes. People, Gohan included, love to go around what makes life difficult. Beat around the bush, if you will. He could not, prior to listening to the speech in the following clip I'm about to show you, face what was in front of him. He had to mature into a man who could fight for himself. Being timid can only get you so far, after all. The fight currently playing is set in a different timeline in the future, where Gohan has had to face the world alone with no family or friends to back him. His resilience is shown through this timeline as well, where he has to be the man the world needs him to be no matter the cost. Gohan may not be a fighter like Goku, but he certainly has the potential to be the best there is and be the Earth's strongest protector. When everything he loves is threatened, he has to learn to step up to the plate and be the man he knows he can be, despite not wanting to.
Gohan, let it go. It is not a sin to fight for the right cause. There are those who words alone will not reach. Cell is such a being. I know how you feel, Gohan. You are gentle. You do not like to hurt. I know because I too have learned these feelings. But it is because you cherish life that you must protect it.
Ugh.
Please, drop your restraints. Protect the life I love. You have the strength. My scanners sensed it. Just let it go.
Yet another fighter you could have saved.
16. You loved life. You gave everything up to save it. And you were just an android. I let you die. I can't do that. I won't watch anymore. I feel it slipping. And I won't watch this anymore!
Gohan's shortcoming is found in his unwillingness to be what people need him to be. By refusing to fight for so long and needing someone to push him in the right direction, he did not prevent as much unnecessary death as he could have. Relating this back to human emotion, though, by refusing to take action, he let part of himself be destroyed. His relationships and the relationships of those around him began to crack because Gohan refused to change in the face of adversity for so long. While Dragon Ball brings it to a bit of an extreme, there being the Earth at stake and all, the message is still there. Another part of what makes Gohan compelling is what people think of him. This facet of the story is exactly one-to-one with humans. While growing up, kids and teens are pressured to know exactly how their life is going to go. Gohan embodies this through his father's expectations, not wanting to battle for the fun of it, but rather out of necessity, meaning he was not living up to what people, or at least his dad, expect of him. This is something that each person, especially young men, experience while growing up. When Gohan does inevitably grow up, he naturally develops into a different person, similar to the version we saw of him in the future timeline I mentioned prior. After tons of learning and experience from both university and adolescence, Gohan changes his perspective on battle, understanding that he holds a vital role in protecting the things he loves.
So, Hotshot, you want to fight Majin Buu?
Fight you? No, I want to kill you.
Vegeta copes with internalized anger. He bottles up his feelings because he grew up understanding that that was the way to handle emotions. The audience obviously knows this isn't true, and the show demonstrates how such a response can negatively impact an individual. Vegeta, on multiple occasions, has his hubris shattered, and resorts to anything he can to put it back into the inflated state it was before. Every time he fights while desperate, he comes to the realization that he was fighting for the wrong cause. Because his coping mechanism is so twisted, he has explosive moments where he takes the cork out of that bottle, per se. By unleashing his feelings, he allows himself to grow as a person and take on the next challenge without the weight of his past experiences or comparing himself to others bog him down. Also, for context in this next clip, when he says Kakarot, he's referring to Goku.
There's more than one way to reach the goal. Yes, to each his own. My motivation was very different than Kakarot's. My motivation was to be the best, to be the greatest Saiyan alive, as I always have been, until Kakarot came into the picture, that is. How could he be a Super Saiyan when I, the Prince of all Saiyans, could not? The intensity of my training was maddening. At 450 times normal gravity, a basic training game became a desperate struggle for survival. It seemed like the only thing holding my body together was my one desire, to be better than Kakarot. At times I thought I was losing my mind. Why couldn't I obtain what Kakarot had obtained? It didn't make sense. It was infuriating, and it was my fury that kept me alive. And when a violent electrical storm erupted in the skies of the planet I was on, I welcomed it. It seemed fitting, like it was an outward manifestation of the storm that was raging inside of me. Then the meteors started coming down, but I was determined to survive and to protect my ship from destruction. It was my only way out, my only way off that nightmarish heap of rubble. Kakarot! Then something just snapped. Something inside of me. No, no more! That's it! I don't care! I didn't care anymore. I didn't care about being better than Kakarot. I didn't care about being a Super Saiyan. I didn't care if I lived. I didn't care about anything. And then It happened!
This scene feels very human, despite how emotionally stunted Vegeta appears. What he experiences is an exaggerated form of envy everyone has experienced, just like the anger everyone can experience through Goku. Vegeta's obsession with being better than his rival consumes him to such an unhealthy degree that he ends up losing any care he has for anything, all because he refused to face his feelings in a healthy way and instead bottled them up. Bursts of emotion can be like a breath of fresh air, and Vegeta's transformation into a Super Saiyan really highlights that concept. Releasing the restraints we place on our own emotions, even if just for a little while, can still feel euphoric. Doing so doesn't just leave an individual in a better state, but also allows room for growth or validation, once again reinforcing the human experience to face the next challenge ahead. By going down such a road, Vegeta lets himself be controlled as a means to get back at Goku for surpassing him. This is an ultimate culmination of everything their rivalry has led up to, as Vegeta's true feelings are on display due to being under such a spell.
Answer me! Vegeta! Do you let yourself be a slave?
Tell me, is it slavery when you get what you want?
Who are you people? Don't you see the universe matters more than your meaningless squabble?
Meaningless, huh? What do you know of meaningless? Spend most of your life ruled by another. Watch your race dwindle to a handful. And then, tell me what has more meaning than your own strength! I have in me the blood of a Saiyan prince. He is nothing but a joke. Yet I've had to watch him surpass me in strength. My destiny thrown to the wayside. He's even saved my life as if I were a helpless child. He has stolen my honor. And his debts must be paid.
Being raised as a warrior from birth, knowing nothing but battle and having no time for relationships or emotions, Vegeta was not allowed growth. He was caged within his own mind to do nothing but fight and conquer across the galaxy, being the prince of the most prominent warrior race in the entire galaxy. He had no time to grow up. While Vegeta's past may be a tragedy, it does not give him the right to cause pain to many innocent lives across the globe over something as simple as a petty rivalry. A one-sided rivalry at that. What Vegeta is saying reflects how, again, bottling up his feelings has been a poor decision. His complex has caused plenty of damage and pain to plenty of civilizations throughout his lifetime, not just Earth. Refusing to confront his emotions or feelings caused them to literally explode and deal significant damage to both his relationships and the world. A bit on the nose, maybe, but it perfectly represents how such a widely accepted method of coping can destroy both relationships and oneself. To Vegeta, beating Goku ended up not being worth everything he had put into it. He realizes this and decides to put it behind him and have one final send-off.
Trunks, you are my only son, and yet I haven't held you once since you were a baby, have I? Come here, son.
Dad, what's wrong? Oh, this is embarrassing. Dad, come on, cut it out.
made me proud, my son.
What did you do to him? Why'd you do that?
Take the two boys as far away from here as possible. Go now. You'll die, you know that. There is one thing I'd like to know. Tell me, will I meet that clown Kakarot in the other world?
I'm not going to lie to you, Vegeta, although the answer may be difficult for you to hear. Goku devoted his life to protecting the lives of others. Because of his selflessness, when he died, he was allowed to keep his body. You, on the other hand, have spent your life in pursuit of your own selfish desires. You've caused too much pain. When you die, you will not receive the same reward.
Oh well, so be it.
For the first time, Vegeta is fighting for someone other than himself. Controlling his own fate.
Trunks, Bulma, I do this for you. And yes, even for you, Kakarot.
It's very difficult to put into words what the show itself can tell you about Vegeta. He goes through so many different challenges and it culminates in this moment. His ultimate self-sacrifice to stop the villain threatening his family and friends is a testament to how much he has changed throughout the story and furthermore his life. Vegeta is a perfect demonstration of what limiting one's emotions can do to an environment. By the time he chooses self-sacrifice, he understands this and decides he must suffer some form of retribution without caring what the consequences are. It is only just to make right what one has done wrong, such is the concept of redemption. Vegeta begins to understand this concept and acts on it accordingly. He knows that there can be no better attempt at redemption than self-sacrifice, and he also knows he will gain nothing from doing so. It is the first instance of him fighting for something or someone that is not himself. Again, the human experience is changing one's mindset to fit the challenges on the road ahead. Vegeta is a hero, not because he fights to protect the Earth or take down cosmic villains, not because he's a proud father with a happy family, but because he is an inspiration. An inspiration to anyone who has ever made mistakes and anyone who will ever make mistakes, such as life. Vegeta demonstrates that it is not those mistakes that define your character, but rather what you make of them and where they lead you. People do and will change in their lives provided they give themselves a chance. The very spirit of mankind dictates such. Otherwise, humans would never innovate or have intimate relationships with other humans. Vegeta inevitably does accept that he is a flawed person, and his pride is set aside for just a moment to accept that Goku is a better person. Not only a better person, but a better fighter. And it is that way because Vegeta is not so ignorant as to be unaware of his hubris. He is woefully aware of the experiences that have made him this way and accepts that to be reality, something he was previously incapable of doing because he lacked the emotional intelligence to do so. Through his self-sacrifice, he learned to love and appreciate everyone in his life, instead of just himself.
How can a Saiyan fight like that, and at the same time be so gentle that he wouldn't hurt a fly? Oh, it makes me angry just thinking about it. But perhaps it is my anger that has made me blind to the truth for so long. I see it now. This day has made it all too clear. You're better than me, Kakarot. You are the best.
While Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta handle their struggles in various ways, they all make it through and grow into better, stronger people. The audience of Dragon Ball Z is supposed to learn the lesson of resilience through whichever character they resonate with the most, as there are plenty of characters throughout the story that demonstrate this theme, not just the three mentioned here. Rephrasing previously simple characters into complex and emotional characters with their own challenges is important to any story, but this idea is especially prevalent when talking about Dragon Ball Z. Due to the story's reputation as a narrative that primarily focuses on well-choreographed and alluring fights, even though that is to some degree true, Dragon Ball Z's value greatly increases when analyzing the characters and subliminal themes through a critical lens. It's strange just how much a fictional warrior race can teach humans about being humans. Outside of just Dragon Ball, it is important to remember that everyone has their own challenges they must face and their own method for overcoming those challenges. Life provides different opportunities and obstacles to everyone. Therefore, learning and teaching lessons of resilience is integral to achieving widespread happiness. Giving people chances to grow is also integral to protecting your own peace, as well as allowing others to flourish their coping mechanisms or forms of resilience, because everybody can be their own legendary Super Saiyan.
Vegeta, thanks.
For what? I should be thanking you, Kakarot.
Nah, what do you mean? I loved every minute. Goodbye, my friend.